G'day viewers. In this episode we shall utilise artificial intelligence to determine if the Bob Lazar story is true or false. But in order to do this we need to establish the testable scientific facts associated with Lazar's story. In other words, we shall filter out all of the testimony and opinion not directly stated by Bob Lazar. In addition, we shall filter out all speculative elements, which includes any and all criticism associated with missing documentation or qualifications. Thus, any information which is not scientifically based and or cannot be directly tested scientifically shall be excluded. Hence, we asked ChatGPT 4.0 to tabulate all scientific claims associated with the Bob Lazar story. In doing so, it should exclude all non-scientific components, all theoretical physics arguments, and all speculative considerations. In response, it concluded that the only testable claim remaining involved the stability of element 115. We instructed ChatGPT 4.0 to exclude all theoretical physics arguments because theories are, by definition, speculative. That is, they are all inevitably proven wrong in the long term and subsequently replaced by other theories. For example, Newtonian gravitation was supplanted by general relativity. Given that our current understanding of physics excludes near instantaneous interstellar travel, it is clear that theoretical physics considerations with respect to the propulsion system associated with the Bob Lazar story should be excluded. However, it should be noted that ChatGPT 4.0 did not list Lazar's 7.46 Hz gravity B wave frequency claim as a testable artifact. The reason for this is because the electrogravimagnetic validation of Lazar's claim was published on the 13th of December 2023, which falls outside the period covered by the training data used for the current version of ChatGPT 4.0. Hence, this means that two testable scientific claims exist, that is, the stability of element 115 and the 7.46 Hz gravity B wave frequency claim. Of these two claims, only one of them can be validated by the average person at home. Obviously, that's the 7.46 Hz gravity B wave frequency claim. The average person has the ability to learn the mathematics required in order to validate the claim. All one needs to do is invest the time to learn the mathematical technique and execute the validation. Therefore, if the average person wishes to establish the veracity of the entire Lazar story for themselves, how can they do it? How can the average person determine the veracity of the Lazar story if they filter out all of the mainstream mass media and internet propaganda? Well, this requires the average person to execute two steps. The first step involves validating the mathematical solution we have published online. The second step is to utilise AI to execute a Bayesian probability analysis. We will come back to the Bayesian probability analysis shortly, but first I'd like to discuss the foundation of the mathematical solution validating Lazar's 7.46 Hz gravity B wave frequency claim. An obvious question is, why should you trust the EGM construct? Well, we executed AI assessments of the EGM construct over the previous 7 episodes, that is, from episode 119 to episode 125. Across these episodes, AI determined that the EGM construct is superior to the standard model of cosmology and rated its overall scientific importance as 8.8 out of 10. Please watch episodes 119 to 125 if you are interested in the details of how AI gave the EGM construct an overall scientific importance value of 8.8 out of 10. With the EGM construct being rigorously assessed by AI, we have the confidence to utilise the mathematical validation of Lazar's frequency claim in a Bayesian probability analysis of Lazar's entire story. We utilised AI to execute 2.4 million tests of the veracity of Bob Lazar's entire story, and the results returned are astonishing. After executing 2.4 million tests, AI concluded that the probability of the entire Lazar story being true is greater than 82%. In other words, for the average person, the only claim that is personally testable is Lazar's 7.46 Hz gravity B wave frequency claim. Once a user has validated the mathematical proof generated by the EGM construct, the user can turn the whole question of veracity over to AI. AI then applies a Bayesian probability analysis 2.4 million times to conclude that the probability of Lazar's entire story being true, not just the frequency claim, is greater than 82%. The way Bayesian probability works is readily available information on the internet, or alternatively, you can review the documentation associated with this video presentation. However, you can conceptualize the process by imagining that AI makes a guess, then tests around that guess, utilizing Monte Carlo simulations. AI decides for itself whatever the initial parameters might be in order to make a guess. This means that the 82% probability of the entire Lazar story being true is exclusively AI generated and therefore completely unbiased. So what's the bottom line? Well, AI has concluded that from the perspective of an average person who can only mathematically validate Lazar's 7.46 Hz gravity B-wave frequency claim and nothing else, should have an 82% expectation that the entire Lazar story is true. Remember, we are talking about a situation where an average person has filtered out all mainstream mass media and internet propaganda and relies exclusively upon what they can personally validate. Oh, and I nearly forgot. Pay particular attention to slide 3. You will see that the 2.4 million tests are split between DeepThink R1 and ChatGPT 4.0. That is 1.2 million tests for each AI platform. You will also see that the average probability for each AI platform is almost identical. DeepThink R1 estimated an 80.3% probability of Lazar's entire story being true, whilst ChatGPT estimated an 83.8% probability of Lazar's entire story being true. The similarity between these results is over 96%, and don't forget, these AI platforms are entirely independent of each other. Needless to say, this is a very encouraging result. Okay, let's walk through the AI Bayesian probability process.
The AI Bayesian probability process map appears on screen. We can describe it in 7 simple steps. Step 1. Upload each document. Step 2. Paste the user-defined AI tasks into the text box. Step 3. Execute the AI assessment. Step 4. Collect the results. Step 5. Re-execute the experiment 10 times for each task on both AI platforms. That is, you will have executed 40 iterations. Step 6. Collate all results. Step 7. Generate a summary table of results. Let's now take a look at our results. The results appearing on this slide are self-explanatory. Please take a moment to pause the video presentation and study the information provided. Okay, let's now summarize what we have learned. After running 2.4 million experiments, AI concluded that the probability of the entire Bob Lazar story being true is greater than 82%. On screen you can see how the AI summarized its investigation. I'm not going to read it out to you, it's a bit too long. Besides, you all have eyes and you can read it for yourself. Please pause the video presentation and study the information provided. Please download the associated documents via the links appearing on screen.